I have enjoyed listening to Progress Texas over the last probably 8 years. I've known a lot of people that are working in this space and have had so much respect for all the work that y'all do to make Texas a better place.
It's Monday, December 15th, 2025, and this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch, rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. The Lone Star State's role in the national drama of the midterm election of 2026 has been prominent in the weekend news buzz. Reviewing this Monday morning, reporting from Edward Wu and Molly English at CNN, and what's not to love about their headline: more redistricting bad news for Republicans. Texas may not net 5 GOP seats like they planned. The idea with the new map, as you'll recall, was to capture 5 Democratic-held congressional seats in Texas for the GOP, but that scheme is being undermined by the reality amidst which it's been deployed, which is in the middle of Trump's approval ratings, particularly among Latino voters, low and continuing to slide. Alongside strong Democratic showings in special elections in recent weeks, the architects of the Trump gerrymander of Texas leaned heavily on districts that Trump took in 24 by 10 points or more, but that advantage appears to be narrowing significantly as Democrats have now exceeded Trump's results last year in 5 recent special elections by at least 13 points. If that level of overperformance continues into next year, the mathy types say that Democrats could take 3 of those 5 new Texas seats drawn for GOP comfort. The Valley is central to all of this. While Trump saw about a 12-point gain among Texas Latinos and swept the RGV last year, his standing has dropped like a rock since the start of his second term. His approval rating among Latinos in Texas has dropped by about the same margin, about 12 points, from February to October of this year, signaling a considerable degree of buyer's remorse. That swing away from the dear leader is even more prominent in the most recent University of Houston, Texas Southern University Texas Trends Survey, revealing a 19-point swing. Texas Latinos now say they would back Democrat Kamala Harris by an 11-point margin, more than reversing an 8-point swing for Trump that poll found in 2024. CNN talked to Democratic Congressman Vicente Gonzalez about all of this. He attributes the recent shift away from Trump to constituent dissatisfaction with affordability and labor shortages. He says, quote, "I can feel it on the ground. I really anticipate us taking the majority back next cycle and winning back South Texas and places that had been traditional Democratic districts that have turned on us in the last few cycles with so many disillusioned people," unquote. Clearly also a factor. Trump's biggest mass deportation effort in U.S. history, originally supposedly targeting criminals and gang members, but that facade quickly dispensed with in favor of Home Depot parking lots, construction job sites, immigration court buildings, and restaurant kitchens, none of which has gone over well with those thousands of Latino voters in Texas who gave Trump a shot in 24. Strategist Chuck Rocha predicts a potential 5 to 20-point swing back to Democrats among Latinos. This volatility could put the 15th congressional district in play. Current incumbent Republican Monica De La Cruz, Democrats Bobby Pulido, and Dr. Ada Cuellar in that current primary race. By its new definition, Trump won CD15 by 18 points last year, but Trump's 2020 margin would have been only 2 points, and Democrat Beto O'Rourke would have won CD15 by 11 points in his 2018 run against Ted Cruz. So how does Congressman Henry Cuellar, fresh off his Trump pardon on international bribery and corruption charges, figure into all this? Democrats are pretty thoroughly grossed out, and it turns out Republicans aren't happy either. The Texas Tribune covers local GOP types who see Trump as having done the Dems a big favor by nullifying a strong campaign issue they had planned to use against Cuellar, who's seeking a 12th term in the U.S. House. It does appear at the moment that the Trump pardon is looking helpful to Cuellar's re-election chances. The Cook Political Report changed their rating for the CD28 race from toss-up to lean Democrat over this weekend, citing the pardon as why. The congressman is damaged among the Democratic base nonetheless, simply by becoming the recipient of the benefit of Trump's corruption. He's got 2 challengers in the March 3rd primary, Andrew Vanteen and Ricardo Villarreal. The pardon could lead more South Texas Democrats to give those 2 a better look. The first polling in regard to the new landscape of the Democratic side of the U.S. Senate race shows a significant early lead for Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett over Austin State Rep. James Tallarico. A new poll from Texas Southern University's Barbara Jordan Public Policy Research and Survey Center shows Crockett leading Tallarico 51% to 43%. Crockett's strongest support coming from women, black voters, and voters over 55, while Tallarico performs best among young voters, men, Latino voters, and white voters. Name recognition favors Crockett significantly, with only 6% saying they don't know enough about her, while 21% say that about Tallarico. There's a lot more detail on this, and it's interesting in the full poll findings, which KXAN TV in Austin has published. See the link to their resources in the show notes. Also a higher statewide profile for the race for Congressional District 32 as Colin Allred has left behind his second consecutive run for the Senate and chosen a shot at returning to the U.S. Congress, challenging current Congresswoman Julie Johnson, who had replaced Allred the first time he ran for Senate against Ted Cruz. Gabby Birnbaum at the Texas Tribune notes that this predecessor versus successor situation is a rare one indeed, and this one's made all the more unique in that these two generally well-known Democrats are now in a battle for a new district that includes significant unfamiliar turf and brand new voters for both to win over. There's tension here already. Birnbaum notes that Johnson had endorsed Allred's opponent James Tallarico in the Senate primary before Allred switched to the CD32 race, and that Allred appears not to have called or consulted Johnson before he announced his run against her amidst the scramble forced by Congresswoman Crockett's last-minute filing for Senate. The battle lines are forming up quickly, with Equality PAC issuing a statement backing Johnson, reading in part, quote, "At a time when Trump and the GOP target the LGBTQ community, the last thing a Democrat should do is try to unseat the first openly LGBTQ member of Congress from Texas. Unconscionable," unquote. As always at Progress Texas, we want Democrats to be as nice as possible, but this one's got serious potential for ugliness. Of course, we'll continue to follow. And we talked to Congressman Allred last week for the very first time. That conversation will hit this podcast feed later today. We're excited to see you, dear listener, tonight at our second Progress Texas holiday party for 2025, Monday night, December 15th in Dallas. And we're looking forward to a second live Yuletide podcast recording with a great group: Austin State Rep and gubernatorial candidate Gina Hinojosa, Austin State Rep and candidate for Lieutenant Governor Vicki Goodwin, Texas House Democratic Caucus Chair and Houston State Rep Gene Wu, and candidate for Attorney General Joe Jaworski will all be with us tonight. This year's holiday celebrations with you have been made possible by Shaping the Future supporter Charles Zeller, Fired Up supporter John Adair, Be the Change supporters Alex Andrade, Scott Elphinstone, Howard Cleon, the Honorable Dick Levine, and the Honorable James Tallarico. Persistence supporters, the law offices of Domingo A. Garcia, PC, the Honorable Yasmin Simon, the People's Last Stand in Dallas, Jason Smith and Sarah Pareda, Unified, and Jerry Yoss. Good Trouble supporters Allison Grinter Allen, Bright Blue Inc., Alex Clark and Kate Rumsey, hosts of the Mission Texas podcast, John Cotter, Valerie DeBille, the Dallas County Democratic Party, Amy Forehand, the Honorable Vicki Goodwin, Josh Harris, Freda Held, Joe Jaworski, Eric Johnson, and Dr. Mark Parker, the Honorable Ron Nierenberg, the Honorable Bill Peterson III, and Mark Yagjian. And Raise More Hell supporters of Val, Louis A. Bedford IV, the Honorable John Busey III, Stuart Campbell, Hannah Cutshall, Charles Hodebeck, Bill Holston, the Honorable Donna Howard, Will Judy, Dave Jones, Angela and Gary Kutak, Jenny Laughlin, Carol Orr, Jennifer Owen, Palmer for Justice Campaign, Mark Ferris, Gary Potts, Printed Union, the Honorable Zoe Cadre, Save Texas, Beth Stromberg, the Honorable Adam Swartz, and the Texas Progressive Caucus. Our mission at Progress Texas is to counter the billionaire and corporate-funded conservative disinformation machine, and we rely largely on listener support to keep doing what we do. While we enjoy the support of hundreds of partners, chances are that you, dear listener, haven't joined the team yet. If you're a regular, let's get you on board right now. Big thanks to monthly supporters Marlon May, John Gorner, and Robert Wyatt. We appreciate all of you very much. Join the team now at progresstexas.org. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch for this Monday, December 15th, 2025. Links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Progress Texas is a nonprofit rapid response media organization promoting progressive messages and actions. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media and action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and a great week. We hope to see you tonight in Dallas, and we'll see you again here tomorrow morning.